What's going on, Soul Nation? Ginger Prime here, and you guys asked for more beta footage, and so Mystic, here you go. Here is some additional beta footage from the Xbox One X of Phantasy Star Online 2 gameplay coming right at you. Now this video is going to be focusing in on kind of the conversation of additional thoughts around the beta, but the concept of it being an 8-year-old game. I've seen people call for boycotts. We're going to talk about that in more in-depth as we dive into this video, and I'd love to know your thoughts on this discussion in the comments below. But also, I do want to say that there is no current news to report. We're still waiting and hoping for additional news, a release date, maybe a new beta, who knows. Any and all that, I hope to bring you guys as soon as it breaks. So if you feel like helping us out with the algorithm, and you feel like we've earned your subscription here at Ginger Prime, be sure to hit that like button, ring that bell. That really ends up helping out a lot for more ARPG content, especially as it relates to Phantasy Star Online 2. But that's really what that's what I love. Action and RPGs, baby. It's a lot of fun to talk about. So now let's just enjoy how I'm feeling right now. And it's this Stewie meme is perfect. I am in pure withdrawal. I am just waiting for news. I cannot wait to tell you guys more about Phantasy Star Online 2. And that's the perfect start for this, because the question then becomes, this is an 8-year-old game. And I think that's a strength. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that means more than anything else, because in all honesty, some of the games that have come out recently, and I'm talking about like you, Anthem, haven't been good. But yet here we have this 8-year-old game. And there was one comment, and I'm going to show it to you now. I've blanked out their name because I don't want to throw shade on anybody. I think this is an interesting discussion piece, but you can see it up on the screen now. And it's basically saying Xbox is a gimmick and this is an 8-year-old game, and that is wrong. They should just boycott, or we should call for some kind of boycott of this game in order to force the eventual release of Phantasy Star Online 3. And while I wouldn't mind a PSO3, some years from now, obviously with Phantasy Star Online 2, we've got plenty of years of content ahead of us. Who knows what more, but it is one of the number one games, if not the number one game in Japan. And, in all honesty, it's one of the number one games in my heart. And that's where it counts. I love this game. I love this franchise. Somebody asked me, what's my history with it? And it boils down to Dreamcast, playing it for the first time, Phantasy Star Online. My dad gave me, he went above and beyond and let me have access to an additional service fee of a dial-up connection. The internet that I was on at the time actually was broadband. It was one of the first places to have it, and we had to actually pay for dial-up so I could play Phantasy Star Online 2. So if you're watching or listening to this, Dad, thank you very much for that gift. Truly, truly humbling. But 8 years old, Phantasy Star Online 2, we've waited a long time. And I can understand the sentiment that obviously Xbox is bringing this to the West. I can get the console wars. Xbox versus PlayStation. I think it's fun. I think console wars are fun in that sense of because I'm always kind of rooting for the underdog. I'm weird that way. You should know that. In fact, actually, you should probably unsubscribe from this channel if you don't like that about me. I'm definitely not the norm. I'm definitely not somebody who I would say relates to the common thought of gamers today. And I take pride in that, but I do know I can rub people the wrong way in that case. But Phantasy Star Online 2 replied, and this just blew up, which was exciting to see, but also terrible for my notifications. They say the confusion of the 8-year-old as a negative is that we see this immense title that they've continued to evolve and improve over time as a still thriving game with a passionate community that can finally experience it here in the West. And the great people in the fan base here is what made it happen. And I completely agree with this. Boycotting Phantasy Star Online 2 because that it's on Xbox and PC to start. Boycotting it because it's an 8-year-old game. And yes, you might want a new game, especially if you've been playing in Japan for 8 years. This might not be as exciting for you as it is for me. But that doesn't tell Sega that we want PSO3. That tells Sega, yeah, let's go ahead and keep Phantasy Star only in Japan. I think it was a great disservice that we haven't gotten Phantasy Star Online 2 sooner. I think it was a great disservice that was the case. But here we are. We can't undo that. The best thing we can do if we're, pro Phantasy Star in this case, is to support the game. I'm going to be supporting it financially, but it's a free to start, free to play game. This is going to be a game that I'm playing with my kids. This is going to be a game that I'm playing with my wife. And that's why when we talk about withdrawal, if somebody's really curious, because I could just go log in right now instead of making this video and go play my Japanese character. But I want to play this game with my wife. I want to play this game with my kids as they get older and are able to play. But we'll have to talk about that because there is some stuff in this game that I'll have to figure out a good way as a parent to make sure that, well, anyway, future video, sub for more, content if interested. This is a great game. And this is a game that, like, it's so... I recommend it so highly because it is also free to start, because you can go try it for yourself. It's perfectly fine if this game doesn't resonate with you. It's perfectly fine if you don't find the charm in how it's set up and how it looks and how it plays. There's no judgment here. Like, that's the best thing about being a gamer in today's society. There is game after game, so many games, and you're seeing some of those on here on the channel. Just tomorrow, Outriders is going to be revealed, and I happen to be, like, I really enjoy Gears of War, and I'm really curious to see what Square Enix and People May Fly do with that game. Like, if they deliver a really awesome game, great. I've made a commitment for 2020, and if you didn't know, it's to play more games and enjoy more games. And that's what I'm set out to do. And the best way to play more games, and is, especially as a father, is to play more games with your family. So you're not sitting here like, oh, where's Dad? I haven't seen him in a long time. Oh, he's off playing a game. Like, that's not the kind of dad I want to be. It's not the kind of gamer I want to be. I'm a social gamer. I wish I could say I'm a social drinker, but I don't drink, all that often. And so ultimately, maybe I should do a little bit more of that too in 2020. I don't know. So I leave the question on to you. Does an 8-year-old game detract you from what this could be? Does the visual set you back, or does it make you concerned? The game is launching, and we do know pretty much the roadmap of content that's to come, but it isn't the same. It isn't the exact same game that is in Japan, and so there are some differences, and we kind of talked about that in my early beta impressions. For me, I couldn't be happier. I think, well, I guess I could be happier. I guess the right way is, yo, come on, Sag, when's the date? I need to schedule. Like, you can clearly see that weekends and things can come up for me, and I'd like to be able to spend more time with my character. I named Bryn. We're on Ship 2. Got our Discord. Come join us. We're talking about Phantasy Star all the time. And I just want you guys to experience this game. And if it isn't for you, and hopefully when I say the release date, like, it's PC, Xbox, all the way, let's go, baby. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Thanks for listening, guys. I wish I had news. I wish I could tell you what's happening, but this was really on my heart, and I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about it today. And yeah, and now I leave the questions to you. What do you think? Now, always remember, you don't have to respect the person's opinion, but let's not try to attack each other in the comments. If for some reason somebody disagrees, and with you or with me, let's just try to celebrate the beauty of gaming and the joy of gaming, and the fact that this was something that I was told over and over again would never happen. And I'm so happy to sit here today and tell you, even patience is a virtue. We're getting this game, and I cannot wait to talk to you more about it. So that's it. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for listening. Hopefully you've enjoyed the beta footage overlaying this video. And yeah, let's talk about it. Guys, just forewarning, if you're still here at this video, just FYI for tomorrow, there's going to be probably a lot of Outriders content on the channel. I'm really excited to learn more. Hopefully it's a game that's going to be worth talking about, because so far everything they've been showing seems pretty interesting to me. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.